what we've built, in my eyes, is truly the best system out there, both for running the organization and for the agents. But being honest, when we first started, it was all about we need a system to run this company on. Somehow, I don't know how, many moons ago, long before my time, the real estate got built in this manner that agents are expected to do everything on their own. They're essentially sole practitioners on an island on their own or in a field of their own, and they just have to do everything on their own. And we don't believe that at this company. That's why we have all the services that we have. That's why we have all the support. That's why we spent the money and continue to spend the money that we're spending on this technology. You know, our CRM makes their lives substantially easier, and it's no coincidence that those that use it more sell more, those that use it more ramp up faster, those that use it more have more organized lives, are able to keep their businesses on track, are able to market to their sphere more and be systematic about it because there's a beautiful database in there that they can enter their sphere contacts into. And that has really helped them, you know, a ton. And that's why we just keep investing in it over and over and over. And now we got a whole team of people, and we spend a substantial sum of money every single month on an ongoing and continuous basis because we know we can do so much more with it. I mean, we went down the road of building out our own customer relationship management system out of frustration. It wasn't like we were all happy with what we had and we said, oh, let's just go build one our way because, you know, we want to do it our way. No. We were frustrated. We had an older system that was good when we were selling a couple dozen homes a month with 3 or 4 people. It worked fine. But when we started looking out into the future, 2013, I go back to those years, 2013, 2014, I'm looking out in the future saying this system is just not going to cut it. It's not. When we were researching CRMs, one of the things that we realized is there are some good systems out there. I'm not trying to act like there's no good systems, but what we found is none of them are end-to-end, lead to close. There's several systems, I can think of some off the top of my head right now, that are very good on the sales front. When you're nurturing that lead, when you're following up with that lead, that sort of thing. And then there's systems that aren't good at that, but they're good transactionally. We wanted something that was the best you could find from lead to close. And that's why you look at our system, we're nurturing leads. It has all different kinds of tricks in there that helps with nurturing leads. And then it walks people through the transaction as well. So when I look back in the time capsule to those key years, 2011, 12, 13, we were utilizing a CRM from the 90s. And we kept saying to each other, especially Sarah and I, we're like, we cannot do what we want to do on this system. It's not going to work. And then as we got more people involved in working in it, I think of Angela, she used to say it too. She's like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. So we started looking at all different customer relationship management systems that were out there in the marketplace, specific to real estate, not specific to real estate. And I distinctly remember, as we were looking into them, in the back of my head saying, I know Salesforce is the cream of the crop. I know that's the one system that you can literally build your own the way you want it. But I also knew it was expensive, and at that time it intimidated me a little bit. But finally, one day I said, we need to look into Salesforce, and that's what we did. I literally said to myself, I'm going to be able to eliminate 9 spreadsheets plus an old archaic CRM that doesn't do half of what we want. This is worth it. And the original contract was like $20-something thousand to just get this basic system built. And at that time I was like, whew, that's a lot. Now I look back, I'm like, that's like tiny compared to what we invest now. But it was a lot then, and we invested it, and we were up and running on it pretty quick. It was 4 or 5 months that we were able to get the system running, and we've since named it Hub. We publicly call it Lamacchia Hub, but I like to just refer to it as the Hub system. And now it does everything you can imagine. You look at it from the company side, we have all different types of KPIs, key performance indicators that I monitor, that our department heads monitor to see how we're doing in different areas. When you run a business, you have to be able to see around corners. And the only way you see around corners is you watch your KPIs. You have to see what's coming, what's going on. Are showings slowing down? Are contracts taken, new clients, listings, are those slowing down? Are pendings slowing down? Of the ones that are pending, how many are falling out? All these, there's so many different things that you can track to see what's to come. And then what I do as the owner is I do a lot of comparisons to the market to see how much we're beating the market by. But that was what we did first. We said, we need a system to run the company on. And then about a year or two after, okay, we're starting to recruit agents with books of their own business. What can we have this system do for them? Because initially it gave them the basic platform to put in a contact, build up a database, all those basic fundamentals that unfortunately many agents don't do. We had that from day one. But then we wanted to take it further. We said, how can we make their lives easier? So we came up with different things like call plans. When an agent receives a lead, pops right up in their phone, they call the lead. When they hang up, if they don't reach the lead, they click a button, first call attempt made. Or if they reach the lead, when they hang up, reached, an email gets sent to the lead. It was so nice to talk to you. So it takes a little bit of work off the agent's plate. And then, so we created that. And then I remember we created fancy dashboards for the agents. And in the beginning, they were very basic, but it was, okay, how much money have you made year to date? How many transactions do you have pending right now? And of those pending transactions, how much gross commission income's coming into the company? How much are you, the agent, getting? Because as I've stated in other videos, we believe in radical transparency. I just shake my head in disgust at the notion of, well, don't let employees or agents know about this or that. I have news for other owners. They're going to figure it out. So better to just be very open and honest about it. And we want an agent to know what they're getting paid the day they put a property pending. I don't want them to have to wait till 7 days after closing when they get their check, or 3 days after, or whatever the process is. The agent should know what they're getting paid ahead of time. The agent should know what their pipeline looks like as they're going through their year, not at the end of their year, right? So we came up with all of those things. We also added pretty much all of our sales processes into the system, and that was a big deal. And that was an exciting time. You know, I look at some of the emails we have today. These are emails that I created working with Sarah back in 06. Then Angela came around, Mike came around, Jackie, Dave, and we started tweaking the emails and perfecting them. Well, sometimes I'll be in the system and I'll see an email, I'll say, geez, I remember when we created that in 06 with me and Sarah. I remember when we had a meeting in 2011 or 12 or 13 when Kim and Jackie and Angela and Mike all decided we need to change this, you know, and I'll see those things, and it's kind of exciting for me. I mean, we're like 15 years in, and some of these things that we created way back, we've just tweaked them along the way. We plugged them into the system. So what we've done, and this is a differentiator compared to anyone else's CRMs. We've taken our sales training that we teach at our company and that we sell across North America, and we've intertwined it into our CRM. So if people use the CRM, if agents use the CRM, it will walk them through and tell them, send this email now, send this text, hey, call the client at this point of the transaction, you ought to call and say hello. Or after a home's listed, you should send this email talking about the marketing you're doing 2 days later. Hey, you should send this report to prove the marketing that you're doing in this report and this report. So it's literally walking agents through, and the emails are built into the tasks. So the agents go in, they follow the tasks, and if it's an email, they click, you know, send email, it spits it out to the client. The client has no idea. They think that the agent typed it, right? But it makes life easier for the agents. Over the last couple of years, we've put a lot of focus on integrating it with other systems that are necessary for agents. You know, you need a IDX. You need a system that's going to continuously email properties out to buyers. Well, we've tied our IDX into Hub. We've literally tied the two together so they talk to each other. When a buyer changes their criteria of property, it tells Hub. Or the agent can make the change within our Hub system and it'll tell the IDX system. Then you look at LamacchiaLinks, for example. So that is built in our Hub system, and that's essentially matching of buyers and sellers. What's the buyer's criteria? What's the seller's criteria? Match them up. This is how we've had so many transactions in the last couple of years that have been off market. And for the record, I'm not some off market proponent. I like when properties are sold in the MLS, but we have clients to serve. Our job is to match up buyers and sellers. That's the main thing that realtors do every single day, right? So our system has enabled us to get our buyers an advantage, to get our buyers so that they find out about properties before they're even listed. So Links was like a branch of our Hub system. It also talks to, as I mentioned, our IDX system. All realtors need an IDX system to email properties out to buyers every single day. Well, now we got all three talking to each other. Hub, Links, IDX. Buyer changes their criteria. Either agent can change it, or let's say buyer changes it in the IDX. by the next 24 hours, it's telling the other systems. They're updating, they're speaking to one another. Then you can take it further from a leadership perspective. Look at QuickBooks. We don't enter all these invoices. It's too much. It's gotten to be way too much. All these escrow checks and escrow deposits. We've built it so that Hub is talking to QuickBooks and telling it, hey, so-and-so just closed the transaction. The commission is X dollars in the invoice. And then, hey, here's the bill to pay the agent. So we've connected it with multiple other systems that are necessary. We've tried to decrease the amount of systems and put them in one in Hub. And we even have a launch pad in there to get to other systems. But the fact is, you need some other systems. It's everybody that's trying to create one to do everything, good luck. Maybe in another 100 years. But a few different systems are necessary. And what we've done is we've made it so that the other ones talk to Hub.